AI artist doesn't realize who he's talking to. A story in 2 acts. It hurts but I had to do it. AI art. Actual artists. Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power. Very ironic you made this post without using your own art. Jesse Lamb. Animation department. Additional crew. Art department. Contact info. View agent. Publicist. Legal on IMDb Pro. Filmography. This video is misleading. Possibly deliberately so. There are people born with Y chromosomes who are female, and it is not that rare. To say so is not leftist. You just need an education in genetics. Further, there are people born intersex, and it's genetic. You look like a nice guy Philip, but she is a pediatrician. And I'm the president of the International Genetics Federation. Anyone know what this is? Thought it was a scene tag, but it's very thick. It's no. Just a mole. I agree. Could be a solitary never slip hematosis. I'm like 99.9% sure it's not a mole lol, but thanks. Oh okay. Board certified derm here. I see this variant of moles all the time. Balloon nevus. But if you're 99.9% sure it's not, then I'll go with whatever you think. Are you thinking more like accessory screw Tom? Hi. If you have an issue with this troop providing suppressive fire, I cordially invite you to go train up, take up arms, and go to the nation of your choice to fight for. Insert cause here. When, if, you return, you can then tell us all how virtuous you are. Thanks. Hi, James. That's me on the right. Duck off. From someone who has a degree in film, it's one of the greatest movies ever made. Some people can't handle dialogue or 3-hour movies and that's fine. It's not for everyone. But this was an absolute masterclass in writing, score, and cinematography as a whole. Lol, it's a perfectly good movie, but if you think it's one of the greatest films ever made, that degree didn't do you much good. Did me plenty good. Got me an Emmy award. This is getting a lot of traction, but it's nothing special. It's basic straightforward journalism. I imagine every station in Denver did something very similar. Now this is how it's done. Watch local Denver reporter Kyle Clark call out Lauren Boebert for taking credit for federal funding in her district she voted against. Way to kick dirt on someone's good work. It's my work. Maybe, just maybe, you don't understand how good software engineering works, and, even more important, how it is done by good software engineers. If you think Zoom is even majority software engineers, I have some surprising news for you. Maybe you don't know how good software engineering works. Emmett, founder of Twitch.television. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Hi Mrs. Woodsey, my name is Jacob. I was contacting you regarding your husband Jacob Woodsey. I was trying to get into contact with him about his Twitch account Jacob. If he was willing to possibly sell it, I would pay upwards to $500. Let me know if I can do anything, and thank you for your time. Is the person they name in fact your husband? Yes, he and his friends started Twitch lol. If you knew anything at all about unified modeling language, you'd know that it's already capable of this. Dude, I invented the unified modeling language. Token would hate you. Michael Token, I love your movies. I also love your novels that you adapted into movies. I just love ya. He's my dad. Biden is a disgrace to humankind. An embarrassment to the human race in every respect. Yes, but he's got a real job, not a podcast. Yeah, you're right. Millions of listeners a day on a podcast while you're watching porn in your mama's basement yearning for the days that people actually gave a shit about your dumb ace. Nice comeback dipshit. Get a job loser. You most certainly did not take that as that's a rather famous photograph by the Canadian photographer Luke Anthony Graham. You didn't look at my profile yet did ya? Nope, and it's too funny. I recognize the photo as yours instantly. Never thought it would actually be you my dude. I like your work and hate when people steal others' work as it's just crass to take credit for what others do. It's worse to steal it and sell it, but to do it 4 points is bad enough. I'm actually glad I was wrong. All good my man. I hate when people steal others' work too, so you're just doing your part. No, it is not. The metal is harmless. You're confusing it with mercury or with compounds of gallium, which have completely different properties. Stay in school. I've just finished my PhD in chemistry. Might I direct you to my paper on gallium chemistry in Inventor and Chemi published in 2020? Trust me, this is the most original movie you will see this year. Seen Patrick Flannery should win the Academy Award. And I'm not kidding. So you've seen the movie? Yes, I have seen it, about 100 times. I made it. The TPM has nothing to do with secure boot. You can reset it to get access to the setup mode to use SBCTL and enroll your own keys. There is literally an option in your UEFI nowadays to do so. You're arguing with the guy who made the tool you're talking about. Oh, duck. Hee hee hee. Post-work family selfie from Goa. Does baby Tara look more? Congratulations. And what happened to first legally wedded wife? Anyways, nice family picture. What does it matter to you? Not the auntie, because I'm still his legally wedded wife who was thrown out of house. This video was stolen from Mary Pax on TikTok. Mary Paxy, walking to the police station to turn myself in. They don't agree to an open relationship. Did you actually play the game? GTA 5 story. Michael cheats on his wife Amanda with striped pears, so they agree to an open relationship. This allows Amanda to have sex with a tennis coach. GTA 5 player base. Amanda is such a hole. They do agree to an open relationship. It is implied in a few places, but it is explicitly stated when Michael is talking to the fortune teller in his phone. Dude, I completed the game 3 times on each of the PlayStation versions and you sir are talking crap. Where's your receipt? I'll be waiting. Netflix has just sent me an email suggesting I might like this. Diane Morgan, we've just added a TV program you might like. He kills all of them effortlessly without using his Pokemon. He's incredibly durable and powerful, like Galaxy level. Ash isn't remotely close to Galaxy level durability. Read his respect thread. You mean the one I made? I.e. the one in the OP. I don't think I put any Galaxy level feats in there. Sounds like you are for Jim Crow era literacy tests in order for people in the community to address their complaints to officials. You should be ashamed of yourself. You don't really know what Jim Crow was about, do you? How about we expect credible claims, require incidents they've read the book, and explain why it's indoctrination? How about identifying the correct author of said offensive book of poems? It's not opera. Literacy matters. Oh, are you going to write plain Jim Crow to me, a person of color? Leave it to a liberal white woman to talk down to a person of color. Did you just say I couldn't fight in the MMA cage? This may be the dumbest thing ever said to me on here and that's a spectacular achievement. And you definitely couldn't fight in that cage. I don't see why you guys talk about each other. It's ridiculous. I was at a conference and a speaker dismissed my question by saying that I should check out the work of David Ho. May want to talk to someone who knows about that kind of sheet metal. Something as simple as not lining up the bolt holes may make a difference. I asked a machinist and designer with more than a decade of experience, and he said it would be good. He was the handsome guy in the mirror. It's probably a retrieved query of a relationship database like SQL. The query would select from a table where the record primary key of the character table of thoughts sorted in date order. The thoughts themselves are probably generated during or after an event task with a variety of outcomes, based on modifier of past actions, and then saved to the relationship database table. They're just in an array, no database or anything like that. You're really overcomplicating it. Haha. You could do it with a custom array system, but then it's harder to write queries and can become overly complicated with difficult maintenance, so it probably is done that way. I'm literally the game's second programmer. We don't need to write queries on them. Plastics give off a ton of toxins, in addition to being very high embodied heat fuels. These guys should have been on air when they got out of the engine. Love a bit of Reddit armchair firefighting. I was a firefighter for 15 years, engineer, and toxicology advisor to my hazmat team, since I have also practiced emergency and internal medicine for 25 years. Your qualifications in these fields are? Train spotting parodies usually bore the shut out of me, but I quite like this one. Have you even seen Train Spotting, mate? The problem is acting like you are the original owner of the picture. If you'd stated in your title that it was someone else's photo, it would have been fine. Edit, my bad. OP is the original owner, but I'm the original owner of the picture. I found this in the boxes I unpacked on Thursday. Bullshit bot riposter. Indian cobras almost never kill with their poison. Even if they do, it's not going to be in 30 minutes. On top of that, this is a snake handler. He has high immunity because he was bitten a lot before, and he should have antidotes ready. What the duck? Are you an expert on cobras now? It's the most dangerous snake in the world. Unfortunately for you, yes. It's not every day you'd find someone pull out their peer-reviewed research article to refute your bogus claim. Must be a bad day for OP lol. You're wrong. Killtaculars were 5 kills within 4 seconds of each other. Back in my day, they called them Killtaculars. Halo 1 and 2, it was the name for the 4th kill. Where does this nonsense come from? Fiat money is against the teaching of every major religion, but most have conveniently forgotten this. Bitcoin is sound money. Any serious theologian must favor it. From a deep and learned understanding of all the fields involved. Do you have a different understanding, or will it just be ad hominems? I'm an economist. OB1. Now, that's a name I've not heard in a long time. A long time. I think my uncle knows him. He said he was dead. Oh, he's not dead. Not yet. You know him? Well, of course I know him. He's me. Some kid at the Hockey Hall of Fame told Wayne Gretzky how to hold a hockey stick. Absolutely, and Carlo then used the imagery he gleaned from Ray's mind to push her a little further by lying that they had sold her for drinking money and were lying in a pauper's grave on Jakku. Which wasn't the case. They paid uncared to hide Ray, and they were buried by Luke, Lando, and Comet in a hidden underground tomb on Neftali. The Last Jedi told us Ray's parents were nobodies. No. On my flight, was talking to a guy next to me, and it came up that I run. He starts telling me how I need to train high mileage and pulls up an analysis he'd made of a pro runner's training on his phone. The pro runner was me. It was my training. Didn't have the heart to tell him. Right where it belongs. Lol no oh. Damn. Well, it's true. Paramore's albums are the Bibles. They are sacred. Do you like Paramore? I love them. I grew up with them, and I'm a real fan. Did you just ask Hayley Williams if she likes Paramore? Phineas and Ferb would like a word. I taught everyone what an aglet is. That's me, bro. I'm so sorry for disrespecting you. The reason most families at dual income is wages have risen. The economic forces pushing both parents to work. That's not actually what this says. You should read it. He wrote the article, bro. You're in healthcare coding and billing, a germ expert. Actually, I spent 3 years in a geriatric hospital doing floor work before switching to the ICU for then moving to inpatient hospice for 5 years. When the hospice closed, I moved to a psych hospital doing outpatient administration, leaving direct patient care. Took over running a psychiatric practice for 10 years before starting a practice management and consulting business specializing in psychiatry. So yeah, I'm in healthcare. I put over 35 years into the field. Spent every single year of my career attending the mandatory annual infection control and services. So yes, I no longer do direct patient care. That doesn't mean I don't know or understand basic infection control. There's a reason I don't touch doorknobs in public restrooms. I do not wash my hands every time I walk into my house. That's obsessive and unnecessary. Nor would I expect my husband to do so. He is an adult and we both understand when it's appropriate to wash hands, such as using the bathroom. Don't touch the doorknobs. Use a paper towel. Food handling. Visiting someone in the hospital. Cleaning the toilets. Gardening, etc. The car will perform better than she will ever do. Now you're wrong. Nina is super quick and the best female driver I know. Shut your mouth. Any proof of that? Take of those love goggles you soon. We race on the same team in F4, and we even tested today. Just had an amazing random interaction with a new founder explaining his startup to me. Him, do you know Terraform? Me, I do. Him, explains Terraform concepts. Me, I've got it, yeah, I started the project. Him, wait, what? I tried to joke it off as much as possible. I really don't care, but I think he died a little bit inside. I wasn't even going to tell him, honestly, but I felt bad he was spending time explaining Terraform concepts that I helped create, so I cut him short. Have you never been to Switzerland? Or seen the rail system there? Well, at least you used Mr. And yes, I have 15 years working on the rail system and can tell you between the rails is the dirtiest, nastiest, most unsafe place to put anything needing light and not to be impacted by everything that falls from rail cars and locomotives. You have a most pleasant day. There are practically no facts in the article. It is simply hyperventilating that the guidance will clearly state the current law correctly. That Stonewall et al. Have been pushing faulty and mendacious interpretations of the law is their problem. Yeah, that's pretty much clear to me. You haven't read it either. It is not legal to demand that trains people have a GRC in order to access bathrooms. Oh boy, you have no idea who you are arguing with. Is it a minor celebrity? A washed up comedian? Help me out here. It's the lawyer of 25 plus years experience who actually helped draft both GRA 2004 and the A 2010, who personally drafted significant amounts of the regulatory structure and accompanied ministers to parliamentary committee during Act 10. For starters. Any other questions? Cleanest sewer water I've seen on video in India. Do you realize that whole country doesn't look like that, or else people would have not been living there. People like you are the reason they only cover that side of India. Bro, I'm Indian. Someone call up summoning salt. Gotta rewrite the video. Edit. Up, no need. Love the videos. No need to call him. He already knows. OP is summoning salt. Lol. Comic stripe lettering basics. Never used a serif letter I in the middle of a word, but only when it stands alone as the word I. Terry Beatty, that's kind of interesting. I bet here it's because a font is being used. More comic fonts should have glyphs for multiple eyes. Claude Johnson Perry, most pro comic lettering fonts have serif and sans serif options. I use Comic Resi, which gives me the sans serif as the standard option and the serif version with a specific key command. This made me laugh a little too much. Why did XB stop playing Ark? Does anyone know? Boredom. Did he say that? Pretty sure he did. Checks notes. Yep. He said it. Just to be clear, I'm a lawyer. I'm a graduate of Georgetown Law and a member of the Maryland Bar. Just to be clear, Judd tweets lefty slanted popular information and opinion for a living. He's about as far from a lawyer as you could possibly get, lol. So please don't take his take on anything. I went on such a craze of downloading Tiny Ace mods to make John accurate myself lol. He looks great here. Is that the 1911 John mod? Strongly recommend this one for his shirt though. Ha ha ha, that's crazy bro cause I actually made that mod ages ago lol. Currently using the original Bounty Hunter one though, so I can use the opened vest with it. And yeah, I just spent the last good few hours messing around with mods and constantly running into issues with things not working, or clipping issues etc. Shud for real? Haha, that's a weird coincidence. Great mod mate. And I see. He looks great either way. I can't play vanilla epilogue John anymore. Loved him in Red Dead Redemption 1. And he just looks off. Yeah dude, check the mod author haha. But thanks bro, appreciate it. Made it when I had zero idea on how to mod, and I still don't, but managed to make something that at least some people use which is cool. And yeah I agree. Especially now having him with his exact Red Dead Redemption 1 face and hair. Hey, that show you named yourself after used some of my music. Love it. You're quack who should be served with a box ticket, clown. I broke the national record at 14 within 9 months of picking up air rifle. Ranked 18th at World Cup. Held the Commonwealth Shooting Championships record unbroken until rules were changed by the ISSF years later. You don't sound very talented to me. I trained with Olympic athletes and coaches, competed internationally on the regular. I scored the Olympic finals cut-off in my first year, defeated an Olympic contender at a major championships at 15. So yes, I know what I'm talking about, but who are you? And what did you do at 14? I have no problem with someone calling me untalented in art, or whatever, but sports is based on objective metrics, and you can't bully an artist into being ashamed of their achievements in that, if that's what you hope to achieve. Guy who is trolling me not realizing I was in this movie scene. Sam Morrill when he decided to tell sports jokes. Hi, Jason. I'm co-owner of Toy Vomit, a successful collectibles store with a great team of around 10 employees that focuses on pre-loved collections and, you guessed it, old comics. Come by anytime you wanna talk about the industry. Sounds like a right woman with vegan in their name, alright. Speaking on yet another issue they know nothing about. Or maybe you do know all about owning a comic store, or buying and selling comics. I just watched a lady ask Juju Smith-Schuster if she could have a few bucks. He was nice and said yes. Then she asked, "Are you a Steelers fan?" He said yeah, something like that. Here's a super geeky Easter egg that I snuck into Mizu's design. The notch in her casser is a nod to the infamous dent in the helmet of Boba Fett. It's a good way to show that Mizu has been through some previous battles without drawing too much attention to itself. Was this confirmed? If this is just speculation, then I really doubt it. I can confirm it. The absolute madlad that set up the German level in Hitman 3 to where every single agent ISIS he sits down at the table to turn himself in, or whatever. That sounds cool. He posted it here, I think. No idea how to find it again. Well, of course I know him. He's me. Not only do masks reduce your oxygen and increase your carbon dioxide intakes, which makes you wheeze or gasp, but they also provide perfect warm damp breeding grounds for pathogens to breathe in that will progressively make you ill. For those who want more respiratory illnesses, job done. Absolutely none of that is true. A new exact qualifications for stating that are a degree in medicine and fellowship of the Royal College of Anaesthetists, for which I was examined in respiratory physiology and the mechanics of gas transfer. What are yours?